What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junkie. Kick the beat. The other day, I received a particular message regarding your boy Myron's Twitter, and it was interesting. I won't even go over the post, but we all know what Myron is doing on X. He's dissing African Americans or FBA with screenshots like this in the background, me when debating foundational Black Americans. He's coming after women as usual, doesn't matter the race, but now he's even going after white women. But another particular community I'm going to talk about in a minute is one of those he's actually attacking. But then in one of the posts, you see this brother Joanne. He says, "You are Black, you are Sudanese. Stop cosplaying as a white supremacist. They don't like you." And Myron says, "Say that to all the real blank Groypers. They have embraced me more than the Fruit Loops like you. One or two idiot Australians with Pepe memes in a random X space don't count. They aren't even America first. I F with Nick and the Groypers and they F with me. Be more mad." Now, this was in response to the white supremacists over in Europe who basically had this to say about Myron.
"Oh, I'm not wasting my time. As soon as it comes in our space, we're just going to gas the shit like that."
Well,
and he even asked us. He even asked us. He's like, if I kind of break the rules, just hit me up about it, guys. And I agree with him. Like, we gain nothing. Like, one of these comes in, they talk nice. They're like, "Oh, look, white people deserve their space, and can't we just be friends?" and blah blah blah. But then later that night, they're just behaviour. I think it was you, Comfy, that was speaking about that guy where he's like against the Jews and all that shit, and then a half an hour later he's posting like, "Yeah, as many as you can," and just full the behaviour.
Yeah.
Myron Gaines.
Yeah. Myron Gaines.
The worst thing he said was, "Don't marry a girl until you're 35." What a thing to say.
Yeah, what a idiot. Stupidest thing ever, mate.
This is why we're talking. This is what we were saying yesterday. Like, at the end of the day, they're low IQ, they're low impulse control. Even if they say a few things that are based or whatever by our standards, don't fall for it. Don't think that they're on our side. Oh, base. It just doesn't happen. You know what I mean, though?
But let's go back to the whole idea of the Groypers. As you can see, those whites in the UK or wherever they were, they didn't really have so much confidence in Myron, pretty much giving him his Negro wake-up call. But I never heard who the Groypers were, so I had to go and do my research.
Groypers, sometimes called the Groyper Army, are a group of white nationalist and far-right activists, provocateurs, and internet trolls who are notable for their attempts to introduce far-right politics into mainstream conservatism in the United States, their participation in the 2021 United States Capitol attack, and the protests leading up to that, and their extremist views. They are known for targeting other conservative groups and individuals whose agendas they view as too moderate and insufficiently nationalist. The Groyper movement has been described as white nationalist, homophobic, nativist, fascist, sexist, anti-Semitic, and an attempt to rebrand the alt-right movement. While Groypers are a loosely defined group with no formal leadership structure, they are generally considered to be followers of Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist, far-right political commentator, and podcaster. Michelle Malkin, a conservative blogger and political commentator, has referred to herself as the mommy of the Groyper movement. In February 2021, the Groyper movement splintered between Nick Fuentes and Patrick Casey over fears of infiltration by federal informants and doxing at the 2021 America First Political Action Conference, held by Fuentes.
So it makes sense. These are the guys who are conservative, but they're like an offshoot of regular conservatism. These are the guys who are more or less alt-right kind of guys, or even more alt-right than the alt-right guys. And Myron Gaines, I don't know why he feels he's welcome to the club, but he is trying to roll with these guys. And this is why you always see Myron Gaines attacking the Jews or Israel on his Twitter page. And it brings me to a podcast he had with the Hodge twins.
Yeah, Zelensky, he's Jewish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single time, man.
Us like, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think it's just a coincidence. Really. Guess who else is a Jew?
It's crazy, bro.
It's just a coincidence.
Yo, it's always a coincidence. It's like,
what's
wait,
that
what
guy
the hell?
that was running the whole COVID thing with the shots and
what?
Fauci?
Fauci? Yeah, Fauci?
Yeah, he's a Jew.
Yep.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Who was the head of the CDC at the time? Rachel Walensky?
Is that a Jew?
Yeah.
That's
And, it
crazy.
gets better. Who's the head of Pfizer? Albert Bourla.
Jew, huh?
Yep.
Yep. No, yeah. We're on the ball. We're on the ball here.
Let's talk about what he had to say about the Sonia Massey situation.
I'm like, I look at some of these cop videos. I'm like, damn, how this dude get out? You're right. Like that Massey video. I thought that cop was kind of crazy.
Which video?
With the pot of water. Sonia Massey.
Oh, that's a controversial one.
Yeah.
I think it was a good shoot.
You think so?
Yeah. Good shoot.
Personally, I wouldn't. Technically, by law, it was a good shoot. But I was like, damn. Like, technically, she's got a pot of hot water, right?
Yeah.
Technically, he can shoot, but damn, you told her to go take the damn pot off the water.
Yeah.
And while you're there investigating a prowler, you just turn this into a criminal in her own house. So I was like, damn, this should never happen. A dude go inside of a woman's house after she's calling for help. Hey, I got a prowler at my house. And they show up and you took it to an extreme. I said, it shouldn't even got to that point because what she said, my mom used to say that shit all the time.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Jesus rebukes you.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that when I said something stupid or when I was lying. It's pretty much a euphemism, you a damn lie.
Yeah.
For him to take it as a threat, I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But she did have mental problems.
He took it as a threat.
Yeah. So,
if you take that as a threat, you shouldn't be a police officer.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy
fuckers. 6'5", 300 pounds, and it's, I don't know, man. It kind of reminded me of my mom. That could have happened to my mom. I was like, no, you know, it's some steps you could have took. It didn't have to go to that point.
Now, if you can see the difference between Myron and the Hodge twins, it was obvious. Those brothers didn't understand what Myron's point was about the officer. Now, if you guys know, the Hodge twins are also on the conservative right. They're not as bad as Myron, and they have been on YouTube for a long time. They kind of fell off, then they came back and rebranded themselves under Conservative Brothers, right? But the thing is, the Hodge twins had an African-American mother who is now deceased. So when Myron started talking about Sonia Massey and he had no heart for her, what was the first thing that you heard those guys say? Nah, man, Sonia Massey reminds me of my mother. And these are black men who grew up in Virginia. I don't know if they had a white father or not. I believe they're like 52% black, but they were not about to just turn on, you know, their mother like that, because when they saw Sonia Massey, they saw themselves and they saw the mother that raised them in Martinsville, Virginia. But that's the difference between people from our community and people who try to be in our community or hate on our community. The reality is that guys like Myron Gaines want to be associated with the people who hate blacks, not understanding that they hate him. If you look at a lot of what Myron does on X, he's not only just attacking Jews or attacking the blacks or attacking people based on their sexuality. He's also attacking white women. Now, to be fair, he attacks all women because he truly hates women on his X page. But a lot of the things he reposts or he gets blocked by certain accounts, these are basically white women. There's gonna come to a point where these guys are gonna realize that somebody that looks like Myron cannot be talking about white women like that. They're not gonna be able to do that, even though right now he's a token Negro. But what happens when you get a whole bunch of other black dudes who start attacking white women who are not white at all? And stop the show, because Nick Fuentes isn't really all white. He's half white and half Spanish or half Mexican. But that's what you're going to see. And eventually he's gonna get his Negro wake-up call very soon. Now, let's get to the whole idea about attacking Israel all the time. And I see that is something that the right is starting to do, especially some of these guys on the extreme. And to be fair, you know, you have it for certain pockets on the left. But what I would want to know with Myron is, what do you expect to solve with that on X? With all of the criticisms that you have, the criticisms of blacks or the Jews or of women. It's not like women are gonna stop doing whatever they're doing because you said so, or Israel is gonna stop doing whatever you're doing because they said so, or the FBA community. None of them are going to really care about what you're saying, but at the same time, you have everything to lose. Stop the show. You've already lost your YouTube monetization, and now what you're gonna do is put yourself at risk for anybody else who wants to deal with you. Remember when Nick Fuentes' followers asked about her bringing on Candace Owens? Remember the BS excuse she gave?
Yeah, I saw this, people tagging me saying that you don't respect Nick. I don't even know what the genesis of this is. Like, what are we talking about? You don't respect Nick Fuentes. Where is this even coming from? People saying, will you have Nick Fuentes on YouTube? Every single person in the world knows that my show is on YouTube. Nick Fuentes is banned from YouTube. Like, he's not allowed to be on YouTube. You will get a strike if you are on YouTube. So you're asking me to have a conversation with Nick Fuentes, put it up on a different platform that I'm not on, just because you want me to have a conversation with him, and then saying out of respect, nothing. Okay, two sides of this that drive me crazy. I get very annoyed when I'm on like Piers Morgan and then they ask me like, do you disavow Nick Fuentes, right? Because I didn't make a vow to Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is not my husband. It's this leftist tactic.
Now, here's what's going to happen. Okay? These guys, like the Hodge twins and the other creators, I'm already gonna let you guys know right now. Having people like Myron on your podcast saying controversial things that he's saying is only gonna get you in trouble too. The reality is Myron lost $1 million opportunity on his own podcast. He doesn't care about losing that opportunity for you guys. Now, to be honest, the Hodge twins have been on YouTube for over a decade and they probably have a lot more experience in this business than most of us. But that's what the guy's doing. He literally has reduced all his income to almost nothing based on his own attitude. So did Nick Fuentes. So did Donovan Sharp. So did Sneeko. And although Andrew Tate is a scammer, so did he. There is a lesson to be learned here. If you want to change things, you have to do it with your money and with your innovation and with the way you lobby the political system. You're not gonna change things by saying silly stuff about protected groups on X or on YouTube or anything else. Everybody who wants to rule the world does so by the money that they make or the money they spend and the communities they build and the things they lobby against. If you can't do that, you're wasting your time. You ain't got no skin in the game. It's easy to get online and complain every day about something, but if you don't have your money put to where your mouth should be, it doesn't really matter. And the only person that's gonna look real stupid is you. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.